What is up, everyone? And I get asked a lot on stream lately what I'm going to be doing during the pre-patch, how I'm going to prepare for TBC to actually launch. So today I wanted to make a quick video kind of going over everything I think you should be doing during the pre-patch, kind of excluding something like making good investments because I'm not like the guy to go to about investments. In all honesty, there's some people that are a lot better at that, but I will be preparing to go as hard as possible with TBC launching. And there's multiple things you can do during this 2-week pre-patch period to really set yourself ahead of the curve for both TBC, also things you can do right now to really set yourself ahead in the pre-patch. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. Now, some of these things are going to be a little bit more obvious than others, but one of the biggest things you can possibly do is set yourself up for optimizing your leveling. Pre-patch is the perfect time to set yourself up with a leveling route that will get you all the way up to level 62 before you even enter Outlands. So as you can see, I'm actually just getting started with this on my main, which is actually really unfortunate because my main actually leveled up doing a bunch of quests. But the best things you can do are actually to do as many quests as possible in these 3 major hubs: Winterspring, Silithus, and Eastern Plaguelands. Now, if you've already done all of these quests pretty much, you can't get as much experience, but the optimal quests are in these locations, but you want to have at least 20 quests ready to turn in, and then also more quests that you can just turn in from having the actual like materials for these quests. There's a lot of quests, especially places like Eastern Plaguelands, where there's quests where you can just turn things in, actually. So I already have an alt character that's starting to get set up just to have basically consumables or turn-ins. Like anything that is a material that will go towards a turn in for a quest. I currently am just getting my alt character ready for that. I'm a little bit behind even, but you have these whole 2 weeks and the auction house will open up again. There's a few different actual spreadsheets kind of going around the internet right now of best ways of tracking your quests. And I would suggest downloading one and then kind of making your own sheet so that you can track your quests and your exact experience. I will have this one in the description. Here it's Alenia's. Someone sent this to me in my guild. All of these are just so easy to turn in and it's instant experience. And you can have these materials without even needing to pick up the quest. So you can have 20 other quests already completed and then go into Light Hope Chapel and then just start accepting and turning in all of these quests. Instantly, you're going to be so far ahead of pretty much anyone else that's instantly heading to Outlands. You can summon yourself all the way around the world or fly around the world. Having mage portals will help also, but I think there's going to be a lot of summoning services that you can actually probably buy for like 5 gold each to just get summoned to these major quest hubs. And then if you want to see if you've even done a quest already, you just copy paste these scripts at the bottom of the Wowhead articles for the quest, and then go into the game and type it out, and it will tell you a false or true in your little chat box. So if it says true, it means you have already finished that quest. And if it says false, it means you haven't. So this is how you can check to see if you can finish quests. Also, you can of course use the add-on Questy to see which quests are doable. And a lot of repeatable quests, things like cloth turn-ins, are going to be actually super useful for leveling quickly and just getting that extra XP before you even get into Outlands and get bottlenecked with how many people are trying to level out there. The next thing you can do during the pre-patch is actually go in front of Karazhan and farm. Now, this is something that I think everyone making a guide for what to do during pre-patch is going to talk about, but you can already farm your Netherweave gear. You can farm some blues even, and some higher than level 60 greens already in front of Karazhan, as well as you can go out here and fish. This is going to be something that's going to be like extremely lucrative. I'm personally not a fan of fishing, but you can go out here and fish and get a lot of TBC fish during the pre-patch, or a lot of cloth, your Netherweave cloth. You can actually start stacking up on cloth so you can level tailoring really quickly. Now, another thing you can do really quickly to make your leveling experience faster is Blizzard said that you will be able to use your chrono boons, so you can bottle your buffs until you're level 62, especially if you're doing dungeon grinding, but 62 will be the longest level of you being available to use your buffs. So get every buff you can and bottle them until you're level 62 and then use them. So during the pre-patch, just slowly over time, you don't really need to rush it. Make sure you're getting all of your buffs as you get ready for TBC. Well, that's for leveling from 60 to 70, and that's the preparation you can do and should be doing to get ready to level from 60 to 70, just for leveling, right? But what about leveling your new characters, your Blood Elves, your Draenei, your Paladins and Shamans, or even your boosted characters? Well, there's a new guide coming out, and I think there's going to be quite a few guides coming out. But one that in particular I have found to be extremely useful and really, really well put together is going to be the Rested XP guide. And if you've watched any videos from pretty much any content creator on YouTube, you've probably heard about this guide at this point, and it will be live today as this video comes out. So this is a guide that pretty much lets you just zone out, and you can level from 1 to 60 in 2 days during the pre-patch. The big thing here in the pre-patch, one, of course, mage boosting gets a little bit nerfed, and then also we've got paladin boosts that are going to be a huge thing moving forward, especially on the alliance side more so right now. But the huge thing is the leveling experience you need from 1 to 60 gets nerfed by about 20% per level. It changes slightly as you go up into the higher echelons there, and then the experience you get from quests is increased by about 30%. So those going together are going to make sure you level a lot quicker than you did in original vanilla. So within a couple of days, you can easily get your paladin up in this time span to even get into some GDKPs or get into some raids and just pretty much swoop all of that quick gear so that you're set for leveling. Now, the good thing about this Rested XP guide personally is that it tells you everything to do, and it will pretty much auto do everything for you. It will auto train at times. It will tell you what the next thing to do is, like vendor your trash, sell your weapon if it gives you enough money, and buy the Gladius, right? Everything with this actual order. If you have enough money, sell your weapon and buy the Gladius. So this guide is actually personally set for every class as well. So this is what I'm really excited for from this guide, is that no matter what class it is, it will be personalized for you. And no matter where you're leveling, what experience you're leveling in, it will be personalized for you. The only catch for this Rested XP guide is that it is a paid experience. It is a paid add-on, but it will be always updated for free forever, ever since you pay for it the first time. And it is free from 1 to 30, as well as 58 to 60. So if you're doing your boosted character, you can download this and do a boost. Personally, during pre-patch, if I was boosting a character, I wouldn't do as many quests as I could. I would do like dungeons to hit level 60 so that I could save those quests, like I mentioned earlier, for that 60 to 62 grind. So if you guys want to get this guide and get a discount on it, I'll have an affiliate link in the description. This, of course, does help me, but that's not the reason why I'm trying to share it. I'm actually really looking forward to using this guide, and I will be speed leveling a paladin during the pre-patch using this guide. So with that being said, I really would suggest this guide or a guide similar to it. It can also be coupled with Questy extremely usefully, and Questy is going to be really, really nice and almost essential for leveling to 70 and even from 1 to 60, of course. Now, of course, what comes with leveling your characters is also gearing your characters. Now, this is going to be kind of huge, but I guess I should have mentioned this while you're leveling your low level characters. Make sure you put Fiery Weapon on all of your new gear and just buy some like low level greens. You'll level up so much quicker if you have a weapon, and Fiery is huge. It'll last you so long. It has one of the highest proc rates out of any enchant in the game, and it also does 40 damage, like a static damage. So it's one of the most powerful enchants you can get. And then for your new boosted characters or any of your alts, you can buy rank 14 gear finally, just from Honor and from Marks. So the rank 14 sword as a rogue, and I made a video about this recently, but all dagger rogues are going to want to swap to swords because dagger rogues in pre-patch kind of get nerfed. And the rank 14 sword will just cost you 19,000 honor and 20 Arathi Basin marks. Your marks can go up to 100 here, but it's very easy to buy this and you can get the offhand. These will really set you up for leveling very quickly, especially if it's a fresh character or any sort of alt character. Getting these swords will really help you for the leveling experience from 60 to 70. So I would highly suggest it. And I wouldn't necessarily, if you don't have the time, suggest farming all of your rank 14 gear. The main thing I would focus on is your weapon, specifically the main hand. If you're a melee, it's going to be the biggest thing from this. And then the thing I'm actually going to do after that is stock up on honor. So as pre-patch drops, you can actually go up to 75,000 honor. And this is going to be amazing, right? And then you're also being able to farm up to 100 marks of every single battleground. So instead of having 20 marks, you'll have 100 marks. And these marks and this honor will be used to buy your offset pieces at level 70, including your new trinket. So your trinket CD goes down to 2 minutes instead of 5 minutes from classic. So all of your offset pieces and your trinket are going to be huge and extremely useful for you gearing up for PvP. And then there's also the blue set that you can buy from honor and marks. And if you've stocked up on all of your honor and marks, you can almost buy the entire blue set. So you're pretty much going to be ready to enter into the season right as it opens a couple weeks into TBC. If you've already, during the pre-patch, farmed all of your honor and marks. With gearing up, that also means you're going to want to raid on these fresh characters or continue raiding on your main character. Your main character, I would highly suggest take to some GDKPs these next 2 weeks. Yes, GDKPs are going to be insanely lucrative because the people rushing to get their paladins and shamans to level 60 and the people rushing to gear up their new boosted characters are going to be dropping a ton of gold. So this is a really easy way for your main character to just run a normal raid with the new builds. You're not really caring about parsing or speed anymore and just making a ton of gold to set you up to be ready for TBC as well. And then the last thing you're going to want to do for the sake of this video is going to be get your consumables ready. Actually, so Flask of Pure Death is almost the exact same as Flask of Supreme Power. So what you're actually going to want to do is get your Flask of Supreme Power if you're a caster and have those pretty much all the way through your leveling experience. It's going to make leveling a lot faster. Flask of the Titans, however, for melee actually gets hugely nerfed from 1200 HP to 400 HP. So you don't really care about that at all. But Mongoose, you're just going to want to get Mongoose. This will be basically your best potion, your best battle elixir while you are leveling up, instead of getting any of the TBC consumables. Everything goes into the category of battle elixir or guardian elixir, and you only get one of those. So Mongoose for the melee and Supreme Powers for the casters. And that's pretty much it, guys. I think I could keep going for way too long. Things like setting up your UI, setting up your character, getting used to your character, knowing what gear you want to get at level 70, knowing what you want to do on your way to level 70, like what factions or what reputations you want to gain. This is all things that should be pretty obvious at this point, and I don't think necessarily need to go into this because I'm going to end up talking your ears off. Also, your professions, of course, you want to level them up. You can start leveling jewel crafting now. And the Rested XP guide will also go from 60 to 70. And potentially there's talks about things going in that are focused for you to dungeon grind with. So some guides that will fully tell you where to go during dungeon grinds, where to pick up the quests, and then go back into your dungeon cleaves. So just be ready to level up, guys. The biggest things you can do right now is make all the use of the time we have during the pre-patch that you can. Me, personally, I've gone the hardcore route, and I've even figured out like food that I'm doing for TBC launch. I'm actually doing a meal plan during TBC launch so I can play straight till I'm level 70. I've got energy drinks ready. Shout out to Fish and Energy who's hooking me up with energy drinks ready to go for TBC. So I'm going as hard as possible, and I will be streaming it all, of course, at twitch.tv/Sarth. So guys, thank you for watching. Sorry I rambled quite a bit. I tend to do that, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.